I think the very Kashmir cause has been damaged. There are different statements coming from opposition that the government wants to make it a province, regardless of the fact that on whether or not this is truthful or not. But I think what Prime Minister Imran Khan has said, that needs to be looked into. He said that one day a day will come when there will be implementation of the UN resolutions and you will vote for this to either side with India or with Pakistan, and after that, after you join Pakistan, we will give you another right to go for independence. I don't understand this. Frankly,
let's discuss this.
I don't understand this because this needs a greater explanation. But going by what we see geographically, if Kashmir, for the sake of the argument, Kashmir is an independent state, that means a time would come when the Kashmiri leadership would exercise its right. And there is a danger that India, which has been looking for access to Afghanistan and Central Asian states, they will get an access through Gilgit-Baltistan via Azad Kashmir. I think this needs to be understood, that when such statements are made, we should be very much particular. That would also mean that Pakistan's another border would start with Murray, just 30-40 kilometers. So I don't understand, frankly, the very rationale of this statement. And very important point, we should not forget that it is a long-held plan by the Americans. It has been so much debated, and Jeremy Shero was trying to follow it. And at one point of time, he said, we are ready to drop the UN Security Council resolutions. India did not accept it. No matter what we do and how much we, I would say, drop our very generous political stance on Kashmir, India would never agree on that. And this government must learn a lesson of what General Pervez Musharraf did. He was promised by the Americans that the Kashmir would be resolved, support us on Afghanistan. What happened? Nothing happened. The last point that I want to make, you see, again, I would emphasize, Kashmir is a very important cause to the people of Pakistan and the Kashmiris. These kind of hugely important diplomatic issues should not be discussed on public forums, and it is also misleading because you may get a vote those segments of the Kashmiri society who want independence, but at the end of the day, Kashmir would suffer and Pakistan would suffer.
What Imran Khan is presenting to the world, that what are our options? Our option, referendum number one, whether the Kashmiris would like to, Kashmiris of Azad Jammu Kashmir would like to be with India or Pakistan. Referendum 2, we will ask again whether you would like to be with Pakistan and independent. So it's a kind of very democratic thought process which draws contrast with the policies of India towards Kashmir in Azad Jammu Kashmir.
It is understandable that Jawad Saab has to justify his party stance, but I think this is a very sensitive issue. Very sensitive issue in the sense that it is legally, it has already been decided. There will be plebiscite, you call it a referendum. This referendum that Jawad Saab was referring about cannot be held in Azad Jammu and Kashmir. It will be held in the entire valley, which is an Indian part of Kashmir. So I don't know what does it really mean when he said that there will be two referendums. First would be in AJK, and the second there will be another referendum where Kashmiris would be given option to decide to stay with Pakistan or not. Does that mean that only Azad Kashmir is going to make that decision? So this, I think, it has to be.
If it is government of Pakistan, they can only talk about AJK. They cannot talk about. No. We cannot hold it from there.
Perhaps you are not aware. It's not legally possible. Under the UN Security Council resolutions, there has to be a referendum, plebiscite on both parts of the Kashmir. No other, if Pakistan does that unilaterally.
I think what Jawad Saab is saying is
that the comparison between our annexation by India this is a referendum by Pakistan, which is very democratic.
This is the very sovereignty of Pakistan, and I think these issues should be discussed in a very, very serious manner. Prime Minister should not have made that statement.
Let's move on.
By the way, for the sake of the record, let me recall here that Prime Minister has said same thing in his interview with the foreign channels. So this is not the first time. But again, that also.
I want to move on now.
growing tide of anti-Israel sentiments. What you see behind me is just tip of the iceberg of what is happening in the country. More than half of $52 billion black CIA budget is spent on espionage network in Pakistan. How would you handle it?
The US has looked upon Pakistan as an ally at one point and then as an enemy at the same time.
That is going to be the first legal reason on the basis of which he is going to be instantly ousted by the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Joining us live, Javed Rana, who's an expert on politics and geostrategic issues.
In the world politics, which is not being driven by any moral principle, it is being driven by the hard geostrategic realities. In a broader picture, more countries would aspire to have nuclear weapons.